Well, hey, WhizBang retailers. So there was a thread about inventory reduction and going out of business, and this idea of having a big sale to generate cash or a big sale as you're retiring has come up in this community several times. And so today, rather than going in and making my own recording, I thought I'd go to what straight to the horse's mouth and have a call with Bob Nelson from Power Retailing. So I called Bob and said, would you mind giving us a few minutes of your time? And he graciously agreed. And so right now, here on the call, I have Bob Nelson from Power Retailing. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. So before we get into, how we can do a retirement sale or, any using your strategies and tactics, can you give us a little background, about your experience in retail and how you got into this business and, just give us some background if you would.
Sure. I think that's important. And it's been a very rewarding and successful career that has basically taken me around the world, helping thousands of retailers throughout the country reach their goals once they decide to exit their business, which every business, at one time comes to an end.
Got it. And that's really what you're talking about here is an exit strategy.
We're talking about an exit strategy, whatever they want to call it or whatever, their solution happens to become.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what we're talking about here is going out of business and you strategically helping them set up their retirement sale, their going out of business sale, whatever you want to call it. You help them strategically work, or whether you help them directly or indirectly maximize that event. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Now, when you say directly or indirectly, that's basically the way it works because we've got two different options and we're a very flexible company. And one is that we will actually go there and help them step by step set up merchandise, price, advertise, and market their business. And the other one is if they're a smaller retailer and don't have a large budget or basically are fighting for cash flow, we have a comprehensive toolkit where they can do it themselves. But either way, we're there from the start to the finish, step by step, helping them accomplish their goal.
Got it. So, but now it's not just an exit strategy either, is it? Because, we have a mutual client who wanted to sell down her stock to essentially nothing so she could remodel her store and then start again fresh. But she used your strategies to not to close her business, but to sell down all of her inventory. So what you teach can be used many ways in many places. Is that a safe statement?
Yes, we can help them strengthen their business. For the most part, 90% of our clients come to us because they want to exit their business and need a plan, to maximize their assets. But there are cases where we can help them rejuvenate, and energize their business by applying several of these strategies. But again, it just depends on a case by case. But we're going to help them raise a tremendous amount. We're going to help them raise a tremendous amount of cash flow fast.
Right. So can you give us a broad overview of, what you are, not what you do, but I mean, the essence of what you teach so that, if somebody's listening to this and they go, oh, that sounds interesting, they know, enough to, just to give them a feel for what you do.
There are competitors in any industry, and the way that we different is that we don't have contests, we don't give away prizes, and we don't have long-term contracts. And basically, like I said, the reason they like us is we're going to save them a tremendous amount of money, which is probably less than half or two-thirds of what other companies would charge. And the reason is that most stores don't need a full-time consultant in their store. What they need is advice and assistance outside of their store. And the way that we're different is that we're very personalized, and you can talk to me, who's the president or the vice president, directly, and you don't have to go through a chain of different people to get through to us, and you can call us 24 hours a day. So I was concerned about their advertising budget. And with us, basically with the social media now and email, their advertising budget is sometimes nothing. And we're going to provide them the important formats that they need, because what they need is the direction of how everything works and the advertising that is proven, rather than for them to spend a lot of time and effort figuring out what to say and how to do it, so on and so forth. So our job is to create the urgency and excitement of a sale.
Got it. And so all the templates, and so you just make it super. You provide them with the strategies, you provide them with the toolbox, so that either, like you said, somebody can do it, or that they can hire you to do it, or basically it's just a plug and play. They just have to take it and and apply it to their business. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, the implementation is everything. And so, in other words, if they fall, you've been gracious enough to send, Power Retailing several leads, and they've all been extremely successful. And the reason they were successful, Bob, is because they followed the plan and they did what we, advised them to do. So, in other words, it is a step-by-step thing, and there's many processes and things that come into play so that they don't make mistakes. Because the biggest thing that happens when they run their own sale, they make a lot of mistakes. They never sell their entire inventory. They're left with fixtures. And at the end, they call me and say, what can you do with what I have left over? And there's nothing we can do because they blew it in the first place.
Right. That's it. Because as with everything, I think, Bob, that having a strategy, having a plan that really puts everything into place so that everything works together is often the difference between success and failure. So why don't you give everybody your contact information here? So if they're interested in, talking to you or using your services or engaging in your program, they can get in touch with you.
Sure. There's no obligation for free information, and I advise them, to call us. There's no pressure or anything. If it's the right fix for them, they'll know it immediately. And again, my name is Bob Nelson. I'm the president of PowerRetailing.com. And our email is retailing@cox.net. But I advise everybody to go to the website at PowerRetailing.com and see testimonies, read information. There's a video and the whole thing. And we're here to answer any questions and not to, deceive you. We're just here to help you. And we're going to do it at a very affordable price, and you'll be successful just like anybody, like Bob said. If you want to be successful, hire a professional. And I think that's why Bob has his business, because the retailers take his advice. And I would, be happy to speak to anybody who has any type of problem in their retail business.
Great. Wonderful. And I do want to say one other thing, because, as you mentioned, there is competition in every industry. And the reason that we share you and, your services with our community and not those of your competitors is because we have not always heard good things about your competitors. And we've always heard good things about you, to be frank. And for us, Bob, the most important thing that we can that we have is our relationships with our clients and the people in our community.